Hey everyone, my name is Nathaniel Rufflejans, and this is your pre-Nintendo Direct Prime News. So before we get into any news today on this special segment of Prime News, which is our pre-Nintendo Direct episode, yes, that's right folks, we may have a second episode later tonight, we shall see. I do want to announce that we are doing a Nintendo Direct Bingo. The rules for this are down in the description, as well as a link to download the blank bingo cards that we will be using. Be sure to read the rules carefully so your card is not automatically disqualified. I will not be filling out your bingo card for you, so please be sure to read the rules closely, and good luck. What I will say before we get into the news is that we always play for blackouts, and blackouts are worth $10 in eshop credit. If no blackouts occur, the closest card to blackout gets a $5 eShop card. If there are ties, all people who tied get a $5 eShop card. Again, links and to download the card and description, rules, all that stuff. Go down to the description, check it out. It'll be all ready to go for you. So let's first get into our first story before the Nintendo Direct today, and that is that Hideki Kamiya from Platinum Games made an extremely public demand on Twitter today for Nintendo to add a D-pad and Virtual Console. Now, some may speculate this means they're going to announce a D-pad Joy-Con in today's Direct, and that they're going to announce Virtual Console in today's Direct. But we're not going to go that far. We're just going to sit here and say that Hideki Kamiya is just making an extremely public demand. And here's how serious he is about this demand. He has said that Platinum Games, on the whole, might actually threaten the idea of losing motivation to make Bayonetta 3 if Nintendo does not add Virtual Console and a D-pad on a future Joy-Con. Obviously, I highly doubt that this is an extremely serious threat, but then Hideki Kamiya is known for speaking his mind. I don't know that he's necessarily speaking for the entire team behind Bayonetta 3, and it's probably a locked-in contract, so they're going to probably make the game anyways. But you obviously don't want a game developer to lose motivation, because that's going to affect the quality of the game, quality of the product. But you know what, Hideki Kamiya, today I'm just gonna clap and say, you know what? If anyone can make Nintendo add a D-pad and finally launch Virtual Console on Switch, it's going to be someone like you making a crazy demand and potentially holding a game for ransom that Nintendo really wants. So, yeah, I'm not necessarily cool with the Bayonetta 3 being potentially affected, but again, don't know if it's serious, don't know if it's a joke, but it happened. So you guys do with that what you will. The next story we're going to talk about actually deals with a patent that Nintendo filed back in August 2017. This was found by a user on Reset Era. We'll have a link down to the thread there. And this patent includes, this patent's essentially for external devices connecting to Switch, including Donkey Kong Bongos. So yes, the DK Bongos could be coming back in a brand new form for Switch, and a keyboard. So here is a quote from the patent. It says, in August 28, 2017, Nintendo Company Ltd. filed in the U.S. via the United States Patent and Trademark Office a patent application for an information processing system, extended input system, and information processing method. This patent concerns extended input devices for use with Nintendo Switch. Examples are the Donkey Konga drums and the keyboard. The inventor is Hitoshi Yamazaki, who has 17 other patents with Nintendo, some together with Shigeru Miyamoto. Below is abstract and selected excerpts, and of course drawings. I'm not going to dive too much deep in the patent. Throw some drawings up of the bongos and the keyboard and stuff like that. Yeah, this is very, very interesting. Obviously, some people have gotten the DK Bongos over time to work with multiple generations of hardware, especially any hardware that supports a GameCube controller input. But, yeah, it's interesting to see it come back. Maybe there's going to be a new game built around the bongos themselves. Maybe Nintendo's going to build a system where having, like, a wireless keyboard work with your Switch might be advantageous for certain things, like web browsing. I can imagine that web browsing on my TV, if I just drop in my Switch and use the web browser, would be highly convenient if I could use one of those wireless keyboards that has a little trackpad with it. That would actually make it a lot more functional and almost like a mini HTPC in the living room. I could definitely go for that over some of the weird motion controls and having to select individual letters at times. I know some phone apps let you type it in and it appears on your TV, but it's definitely interesting, and we'll have to see what this means. But obviously, Nintendo is exploring the ability to wirelessly, because these look like wireless to me, anyways, connect devices to the Switch to do different things and extend the Switch's usability. And I assume most of this will be done through Bluetooth. Come on, Bluetooth headsets, please, Nintendo. Please say that's one of the devices you're considering, especially if you ever do local voice chat. But right now you don't. Let's just get into our next story. And overall, it's just Rumor City. We're covering 2 specific rumors. But the first rumor we're going to talk about is a huge one. It's so massive, it could almost be its own Prime News on its own. I'm just going to read the notes I wrote down because this is insane. Someone in Japan let slip that Pokemon Switch is a reboot. The person who put the information out there is extremely well known in Japan because they also leaked almost the entirety of Generation 7 for Pokemon, long before anyone else had any information and knew what was going on. They got every piece of information they leaked for Generation 7 100% correct. The post was put up for the Pokemon Switch game and then quickly deleted. But the person who took the screenshot, for the sake of not losing the evidence, is trusted by many to not be faking a screen cap. This is a rumor, but assuming this person posted it, just be prepared for the unthinkable. That's right, folks. Pokemon on Switch, according to this rumor, according to potentially this person, I don't want to say potentially because I don't know the person who screen capped it personally, but potentially this person in Japan might have just told us the biggest Pokemon shocker of all time. Pokemon Switch could be a reboot of the franchise. A reboot of the franchise? Are you serious? On one hand, that would excite me because I am choosing to get back into Pokemon with Pokemon on Switch, and to have a reboot of the whole franchise on Switch as the first Pokemon game is a great way for someone like me to get back into Pokemon because I'm not going to be so far behind everyone else. We're all starting fresh again. It's a brand new experience in a brand new world. Obviously, when they're including some of the older, the newer, I guess, mechanics in the series since the first few generations and, melding that in with a first ever Pokemon experience. I like this. I actually think this is not just a smart idea for me personally who wants to get back into Pokemon, but I think it's smart in general for the franchise because I think Nintendo, Game Freak in this case, might be looking at this as, if this is true, if they are doing a reboot, they might be looking at it as a chance to bring in a whole new group of people to Pokemon. Because Pokemon, while it has maintained much of its age group over the years, coming to a platform that's considered a home console, potentially you're going to be introducing mainline Pokemon games for the first time to home console style players. And for them, jumping right into Generation 8, being, a zillion miles behind everything, it could be really confusing. And some people have told me that, have confirmed to me at least some of my fears from when I have tried out games over the time, that Pokemon doesn't do a very good job with tutorials because they just kind of assume you know how to do everything from prior Pokemon games, and it's easy to get confused and lost in some of the mechanics. And you can still beat the game and have a good time and everything. But if you're trying to become this amazing player, you kind of have to go outside of the game and do research. And you might still have to do that anyways if you want to be the best of the best. A lot of the mechanics need to be better explained. And this is why, to me, a reboot makes a lot of sense. Now, again, just a rumor. Could be absolutely nothing. Could be hogwash. Even though if the screen cap is true and it did come from this person, I can't read the Japanese, so I'm not sure of the person's name. But if they got all of Gen 7 right, this is huge because this is probably true then. But I don't know which way to lean on this. All I know is that I want it to be true. I don't know what you guys want. You guys let me know what you think about this rumor down in the comments below. We don't know if this is this could potentially be a precursor to Nintendo Direct today. They could be announcing Pokemon during it. They usually announce Pokemon at its own thing, but then again, they announced that they were making a Pokemon, last year during a general, thing at E3. So we'll see what happens. Either we'll find out today or we'll find out in the future. One thing's for sure, between the localization of the game happening and all that stuff, we're going to learn something about Pokemon soon. Very soon. I would say within the next 3 months. So be prepared for anything. I guess that's the best way to look at this rumor. The next rumor is actually Direct specific. So if you don't want to deal with any potential leaks or anything about the Nintendo Direct, maybe turn off this Prime News right now. These leaks come from Vandal Leaks. He was the one who originally put up that Nintendo was going to have a Direct on March 8th, and he got into some specifics here. There's actually more leaks, but I'm just going to cover a couple because if he is right, I don't want to spoil everything here, but we're going to cover a couple things here. And one is that Mario Odyssey is going to get premium DLC 2 packs, so these premium DLC would be ones that you pay for. And one of them includes a Luigi's Mansion level that releases in April with like 43 new moons to collect. Or he said stars. Maybe they're using stars in there like they did in Mushroom Kingdom. Then it says Fire Emblem is going to be shown off for Switch, and it's going to be shown off with a CG trailer. As I said, some other stuff. He goes into some specifics. If he nails the specifics, Vandal Leaks just became one of the best leakers out there, considering that his Twitter account's like brand new over the past week. So we'll see what happens with that. He also, that's really it for that. The other news that we have, just two little pieces. These are actual legit leaks that were probably going to be mentioned in the Direct, but they're small enough that you guys can listen in. Not going to be that surprising. Mario Tennis Aces box art was leaked in Japan, so the Japanese version of the box art. And some new characters. Now, we're not going to go over the characters themselves. We're going to wait for the Nintendo Direct to not only confirm the characters, but to show them off in a better light, because they included some screenshots that we're not going to show either, because it's like this little 4-pack of screenshots. It's kind of blurry. I don't really think it's a good representation of the game. And the reason that it's like that is because this comes from a retailer called Rakuten Books. They obviously put this information out, jump the gun on the Direct, and that includes a release date in Japan of June 22nd. It could be a placeholder date because maybe they don't give us the release date today, but either way, the box art looks absolutely fantastic. I'm excited for Mario Tennis Aces. Hopefully, this Direct confirms my excitement for it, because the reason I'm excited is that single-player mode. So I'm really hoping that single-player mode, if they show it off today, I'm hoping they show it off, just blows my mind. The fact that Nintendo was confident enough in Mario Tennis Aces to say specifically that we're going to talk about it in this Direct gives me even more hope. But we'll see. Nintendo sometimes gets overconfident about things that end up not being that good. The other thing they talk about is Sushi Striker, The Way of the Shishido. They now have it listed with box art, by the way, as coming to Switch on Rakuten Books. Take a look at the box art. That was a game that was originally announced for 3DS. I think last year, I remember, or was it 2 years ago? It never released, at least in North America, as far as I'm aware. A really weird game about cooking and making like food, and like it's not Cooking Mama, but it's different. It a really weird game. I remember watching the Nintendo Treehouse play it, and I'm like, that looks just weird. And apparently it's going to be coming to Switch. It's still listed for 3DS as well, so coming to Switch and 3DS. No release date on that. But yeah, that's going to do it for our pre-Nintendo Direct Prime News. As I said, we will hopefully be live streaming the Direct with a pre-show. Check out the bingo stuff. You have until 10 minutes before the Nintendo Direct to get your bingo stuff submitted. Good luck to everyone who participates. And you know what, folks? If I end up not streaming the Direct because of kid issues or whatever, I'll catch you after, because we definitely, regardless of if we stream or not, we'll be doing a follow-up video recapping the Direct. In probably multiple videos in the coming days over what was the best part of the Direct, what was the worst part of the Direct. We do have a live, well, not a live podcast, but we do have a podcast that we are recording tonight, that if you become a backer on patreon.com/Nintendo Prime for $10 and up, you can actually see our podcast live as we're recording it, if you want to get in on that action. All right, folks, that's all I got to say. If you like this video, you know what to do. If you dislike it, hit that dislike button. Subscribe for more content. And as always, folks, I will catch you in the next one. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all.